Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1963 Smith Corona Classic 12 vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Up top is the adjustable paper guide that helps you guide the page in straight, and I just line it right up with the edge of the platen, which is this main roller that feeds the page. Margins are located here behind the platen. I like to put it on about 2 1/75. This is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. This is the paper bell that sits on top of the page to hold it down. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit the flying space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 2, or 3. Right now we have it on single, but if you want double, you flip the switch back 1, it skips 2. 1 more, it skips 3. We're going to keep it on single and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence on the next line. Put that back on single. Very nice typing machine. You can type as fast as you want on this. Very responsive, very easy to type on. Some typewriters you got to hit the keys pretty hard to get them to print. This one you don't have to hit them hard at all. It's almost like typing on a computer. It's like really touch it and it prints. Almost like an electric. An electric will get you really touchy printing typewriters. Backspace on the top left, that works good. Shift on each side. Shift lock on the left to clear that. Just hit the shift button again. Half space on this model, which is rare. This is your regular space. Touch control up top. Just adds tension to the keys when you hit them. The lower, the less hard you have to hit the keys to print, and the higher the tension. You have to hit the keys a little harder, but they respond faster. Top right, we have our color selector. On the top is a black square, prints the top portion of the ribbon. All the way on the bottom is a red square, prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. In the middle, doesn't print at all. We're going to keep that on the top. And another fun fact is, if you have a solid black ribbon, which we do, you can print twice as much with it, because you could just use the top and the bottom portion of the ribbon. Open the hood. All the brand new ribbons loaded on this left side, so it's pulling to the right. If you want to switch the direction, you just push this switch behind. The switch right here behind the left spool. If you pull it in, it'll pull to the right. If you push it to the back, it'll pull to the left. That works good. We're going to keep it pulling to the right. Sometimes people get a typewriter and it's pulling to the wrong direction, and they think there's something wrong with their typewriter. They just need to make sure that it's pulling in the correct direction. Very easy to fix that. Tab on the top right. I believe we have one tab set in the middle to help it. So if you clear that, just hit the CL button here on the right. But if you don't have any tab set, this has a pretty good drag, but still will go slamming all the way to the end, causing wear and tear on your typewriter. So I like to set one somewhere in the middle, so the next time the tab button gets hit, it doesn't go slamming all the way to the end. And you can set as many tabs as you want on this model. This another cool function. This is, when these were made, these were very modern style typewriters. So let's first take the page out. You can feed it out by just feeding it like that, or you can flip this switch on the right, and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allows you to pull the page out easy, or load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. So a lot of typewriters, it's very hard to remove the platen. This one's very easy. You just flip this panel up, pull this up, and there's a little switch right here, and you just push it up and pull the knob at the same time, and it pops right out. This one has a long platen, so it might be a little bit hard to pull that out, but this gives you access to clean that and change the rollers if the rollers are bad. The rollers are really nice on this one, and it just clicks right back in and down in, just like that. And the clicks have been disabled, but we're gonna fix that by pushing in this button. If you pull this button out, it disables the spacing, so you can get to an exact spot on the page. If you push it in, each one of those clicks is one space. That works good. You can also do the same thing by pushing this lever down here in the front. If you push it down, if you can see that, this little lever right here. If you push it down, it'll disable the spacing when you turn the knob, so you can get to the exact spot on the page. Flip it back up, and you hear those clicks. Each one of those clicks is a space. I'm gonna put this back down. Carriage release on each side with these plastic handles, which is, I believe, the worst design flaw that these had, because these things break off easily. But you can still use them when they break off just by pushing up like that. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.